New Muslims from America and Other Lands by Imtiaz Ahmad Madni, Chapter 1.7. Renda Toshner, a Turkish architect. Renda was born in America in a Muslim Turkish family. He did not know that he was born Muslim till he started his university education, because most of the Turkish families had melted into American society. Renda's parents were prominent members of this American Turkish community. They were both physicians and did very well financially. Thus, Renda was born in an affluent family. Nevertheless, they brought up their son without any kind of Islamic education. Renda completed his high school and joined a university. He had no idea about Islam until he started mixing with the overseas Muslim students at his campus. America and American universities offer a great deal of freedom of choice and do not interfere with such personal choices. Since Renda had a very gentle nature, the Islamic teachings and practices attracted him. He was surprised to discover that he was born in a Muslim family, but family circumstances kept him far away from the knowledge and practice of Islam. Renda learned more and more about Islam every day and tried to put it into practice. Renda was very smart in his studies. He proceeded to architectural engineering and finished the coursework very easily. He joined an American architectural firm when he was preparing for his professional licensing exam. It usually takes a few years to pass the licensing exam after a few attempts. However, Renda was so clever that he passed the licensing exam only in one go, in one try. Renda's growth in Islamic knowledge and practice was similarly very outstanding. He benefited a great from the Islamic activities at the Ann Arbor Masjid and Muslim community there. His parents had retired and chose to go back to Turkey. They settled down in their native country for the rest of their life. Renda chose to stay in America since he liked the Ann Arbor Muslim community. He wanted to increasingly take part in Islamic education. I used to give a Friday sermon or Jummah khutbah once a month in the Ann Arbor Masjid near Michigan State University. He was usually the muazzin, the person who calls for the prayer of this large masjid. I recall that in one Jummah khutbah, I described the story of Prophet Yusuf alayhi salam. In this story, I mentioned that the brothers of Yusuf alayhi salam tried to use his shirt to prove that he had been eaten by wild animals. Later, when the wife of Aziz tried to have an affair with him, his shirt served as proof that the wife of Aziz was guilty. Much later, the shirt of Yusuf alayhi salam was used to regain the eyesight of his grieved father. I added that if Yusuf alayhi salam's shirt could perform such miracles, how unique the person would be who wore it. Renda liked these remarks and called me on phone as soon as I reached home. He asked me, "Are these your ideas?" I told him, "Not at all. Anything I say is from tafsir, explanation and interpretations of the Quran written by Islamic scholars. I am not a scholar and I do not have the right to give explanations of Quran from myself." Renda wished to look like a Muslim physically as well. He wore Islamic Turkish dress all the time, even on his job. I asked him, "Does your employer object to your dress since you have to represent the firm in many places?" Renda said, "They have to accept me the way I am if they want me." I repeated, "Don't you experience some prejudice at your job because of Islamic dress?" Renda bluntly said, "That's their problem. I like this turban." I asked him to show me how to tie it up so gracefully. Renda made outstanding contribution to various Islamic communities. He used to present Islam to the inmates of American prisons. This requires a great deal of time and practice. Renda's experience with prisons were very positive. Renda felt that these new Muslims in the prisons needed a special form of brief but comprehensive literature. He developed such pamphlets on his own and at his own expense. He wanted me to review these pamphlets. I found these very pertinent for the use of new Muslims in the prisons. May Allah reward him for these efforts. Renda's contribution on the Farmington Hill Masjid is also unique. About 2.5 acre land was purchased for the masjid in Farmington Hills. Renda came up with many options for constructing the masjid and the parking lot at that site. The present architectural layout of the masjid was exclusively done by Renda. Bids were taken from various firms for the architectural drawing. Renda's company gave a high bid. Renda's advice was to pick up the bid of lowest bid. Renda, however, did the detailed drawing of the masjid to help this firm. We both had very lengthy and tiresome meetings with the architectural firm. Renda never complained about it. Without Renda's professional help, this masjid would never have been built. Renda's personal life was very unique too. He went to Turkey to get married. He went to Turkey to get married. He did not ask his parents to find him a girl from a rich family. Instead, Renda told me that he picked up a girl from an average family on his own. He knew that his wife did not know anything about Islam, but he was confident and determined to teach her Islam. Renda felt that Prophet Muhammad and all other prophets were ordered by Allah to start practicing and teaching among their near dear ones first. Anzir Ashiratikal Aqrabin. Renda not only taught her Islam but served as an outstanding model for her. With the help of Allah, she acquired Islamic knowledge very fast. Both cherished this Islamic way of life. Allah blessed them with two daughters. Renda did not want to stop here. He wanted more and more participation in Islamic activities while his beloved wife cooperated with him fully. That was the time when the war in Bosnia was in full swing. Muslims were being killed and tortured every day. Muslim youth from many countries went there to help the Bosnian Muslims. Renda could not resist and made up his mind to go there as well. He left his wife and young children in Ann Arbor City and appointed a wali or guardian for them from among the Turkish Muslim students. He called me to say salam and to make me aware of his family arrangements. Renda was very cool-minded, confident person and was very firm in carrying out his decision. He especially wanted to help the orphan children of Bosnia. After a while, we heard that Allah made him a Shaheed martyr in Bosnia. The Anarbe Muslim community was very proud of Renda and his family. They immediately established a trust and collected a substantial amount of funds. This money is to be used for the education of Renda's children when they reach college level. Renda's wife is very noble. She is growing more and more Islamically by understanding and memorizing more and more of Quran and Hadith. Renda's children are very intelligent like him. His wife is raising them with a remarkable Islamic background. We are told that Renda's mother and father in Turkey are also proud to be parents of Shaheed. Similarly, the Muslims of the Tawheed Center in Farmington Hill, Michigan, are thankful to Allah for the design of their masjid by this Shaheed. May Allah grant him a lofty place in paradise. Ameen. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم.